The girl could have scored 100 points, but she didn't do the question seriously. Instead, he stared at the invigilator's watch. The next second she raised her hand to ask the teacher what time it was. Unexpectedly, after learning that there was plenty of time, the girl became very anxious. The test paper that was supposed to take half an hour to finish, it took her only a dozen seconds to finish writing. Then she didn't care whether the answer was correct or not. She handed the paper directly to the teacher. Then she ran to the street in a hurry. At this time, the girl's brother couldn't wait, because his sister was wearing. It was the only shoe the brother and sister had. If she can't deliver the shoes on time, he couldn't even get into the school gate. But the bad thing is, when the girl ran through the stinking ditch, she accidentally dropped a shoe in. Without any hesitation, she quickly ran towards the direction of the water. He tried several times to pick up the shoes, due to the rapid flow of water. Plus the girl's arms are too short. She could only watch the shoes floating around. At this time, the shoe got stuck under the stone slab. This finally gave the girl a chance to breathe, so she looked down to see where her shoes were. But this position is right in the center of the stone slab. The girl can't take it out by herself. She started crying sadly. The crying soon attracted the store owner. After learning the truth, the boss used a wooden stick to dredge the ditch. The shoes finally floated away with the water, and was successfully fished out by a sanitation worker. A few minutes later, the girl finally delivered the shoes to her brother. But looking at the wet shoes, the brother did not comfort his sister. Instead, he blamed her for delaying his schooling. "You came at the right time." She faced her brother's scolding. The younger sister finally couldn't stand it anymore and said, "If I can't find it, I'll tell my dad." Have to say, this brother is so thick-skinned. It was obviously his fault, but still so confident. But it's exactly as he said. Their family has been very poor for a long time. Not only does he have a father who can't make money, my bedridden mother, there is also a crying brother. On weekdays, the whole family relies on eating biscuits to make a living, and a pair of worn leather shoes that have been repaired more than a dozen times. It is the sister's only shoe. This afternoon, after Ollie repaired his sister's shoes, I just put her on the shelf of the vegetable store. He ran into the store to pick potatoes, but because his family is so poor, even buying potatoes requires credit. The boss only allowed him to take some sprouted potatoes. However, when Ollie came out of the vegetable store, but found that the shoes were gone, it's like it disappeared out of thin air. It turns out that when Alibaba was just starting to ship potatoes, a rag collector came over. He thought the bag contained unwanted garbage. He just put it in his car. To find shoes, Ollie started searching the shelves, but because of being too anxious, he accidentally knocked over the vegetable stall. The boss was furious, directly scolding Ollie as a fool, and let him get out. Ollie is still thinking about explaining to his boss, said his sister's shoes were lost here. He didn't mean it, but the boss hit him out. Without any choice, he could only run back home in despair. I'd better go home first and think of a solution later. But just arrived at the door, Ollie heard a loud noise. It turned out that the landlord was collecting rent in the yard again. Harsh words are unbearable to hear. The mother just endured it silently. Who made the family have no money to pay the rent? He watched his mother being humiliated. Ollie didn't dare to mention the shoes to her anymore. Then he walked towards the house. The sister saw her brother coming home. She is very happy. She asked her brother how her shoes were mended. Ollie was hesitant and couldn't explain clearly, until his sister got up to check the shoes. Ollie realized that he couldn't hide it. He could only tell his sister the whole story. In an instant, his sister burst into tears. "No shoes. She can't go to school. How can this be good?"